I am Mike Gonzales. I'm the Executive Director of the YMCA. I've been with the YMCA since 1975 and Executive Director since 1982. I would like to thank the High Plains radio station for having this event, for Matt and Shelley Sainer and the Bear Rock Cafe for hosting this, the panel that sits here and volunteering their time to question us, Mayor Barry and the other members of the council for selecting me to fill a vacant term. And I'd like to especially thank my wife and my children for allowing me to do this. You know, without that support at home, it wouldn't be possible to do this because you spend a lot of time away from your family, and my poor wife has to discuss a lot of council issues with me when I get home to tell them how great my idea was and how the others, well, we got through it. So I'd like to take a little time and tell you about myself. One of the questions that they had is, what other offices have you held? And I have a lot of experience in different organizations. I belonged on board of directors of McCook Chamber of Commerce, McCook Rotary Club, McCook United Way, the KM for Kids Board of Directors. I served 2 terms or 8 years on the McCook Public School Board of Education, which I can't believe I was on the committee that we dealt with the closing of West Ward. And the very first meeting with City Council, what are we discussing? West Ward, what to do with that building. I went home, I told my wife, I said, you can't believe what we're talking about tonight. So it came around again. I'm very proud of the time I spent with the Board of Education. It was very enlightening. I learned a lot about it. I was on the committee when we built and renovated McCook Elementary. We went through the bond issue, and it's kind of funny that we're back here talking about bond issue again. Currently, I am serving on the 2010 City Council. I serve on the Hometown Competitive Charitable Giving Task Force, and I'll also serve on Vision McCook Committee and the MEDC Housing Committee. All of this I find very enlightening. I do these things partly because I love the city of McCook. It benefits my family directly, and it's a very educational process for myself. You know, you have to keep growing, and through part of that is by educating yourself. One of the things, the other questions was, what are the, if elected, what are the first 3 things you do in office? One is to support the staff. You have to be there for the staff. We have a great city staff, and also learn to work with the other members of the council. And I think we do that very well. Dennis had made that comment earlier about liking the guys that you're working with, and it really has been a pleasure. We work well together. We come to decisions. If you vote no and you override it, or you vote yes and you override, it's forgotten at the door and we move on. One of the things that McCook is going to be facing here on the ballot, and it's very important to all of us, is the Fire and Safety Center. Oops.
I'd basically like to ask you the same question that I asked Mr. Anderson. That is, how would you encourage economic development going forward in McCook, given the recent momentum that's been built? But since you have some experience with housing in McCook, I'd like to ask you to also address the housing problems facing McCook, how we can use that to encourage economic development.
One with the economic development is it's very important that the city cannot do it by themselves. You have the MEDC, you have several other organizations like they have the housing development. You have to work together in McCook if you're going to accomplish something. I think we have a great group of people. They will share their experiences, they'll share their time, they'll move forward, and the Keystone is a great example of, there wasn't one organization that backed down from that. If there was a request for help, they stepped up and they made it happen. With the housing, we do have a real need for housing in McCook. Part of this will be resolved with the vacant lots that are the lots are being cleared through the demolition of the old structures, and also there's a really need for some rentals in McCook. So I think there again, you're going to have to work together with different organizations to provide adequate housing.
Mike, you say that if you're elected, you'll continue to educate yourself on the inner workings of the city. What most stands out from your first term of council that you learned about how the city functions?
Well, 9 months was what I've had so far, but the very first thing I did is I called Kurt and he took me around. I don't think anybody understands how big an operation McCook has here. It's approximately a $29 million budget. We have 75 staff members. They range in everything from sewers to swimming pools to jail. And I spend a lot of time reading that information. I would like to see the city think about going electronic because we kill a lot of trees every meeting. And the budget document itself, which I was really interested in, is about 3 inches thick. So you just have to take the time, you have to sit down, you have to ask questions. My door's always open. If you have an opinion, you come and ask. If I don't know it, I go either to Mayor Berry or I go to Kurt and find out the answer for that. But it really has been enlightening, and I do this. It is a personal growth, and I have enjoyed it. Okay, I'm going to get back to the issue about this facility that the city is proposing. One of the things that I think has been misled about this is it's tax neutral. There's no property tax going to go into this facility. It's all being done with sales tax. If you vote yes, your property tax does not go up. If you vote no, your property tax does not go down. Okay, so it's tax neutral to the citizens. I don't know of one person that has walked into that fire station, police station, and has come out thinking that we should not do this project. I'd hate to say it, but I was shocked by the working conditions and for the firefighters, the living conditions that they have to tolerate. And it's time for us to step up to the plate. To me, it's a no-brainer. It's time to do it, and we need to do it this time. So I do appreciate everybody's support. While I've been serving on the council and on these other boards, I would appreciate your vote come November. Thank you very much.